Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If the Naruto universe had quirks. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and if you're new guys, yes, I indeed have 4 channels that I post What If on every single day for you guys to enjoy. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. All the links will be down in the description for the other channels, so go ahead, check them out and enjoy guys. And don't forget to comment so I can reply and welcome you if you're new guys. And also don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post, because I do post a lot. So without further ado or wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, the group was making their way towards the Land of Wave, as they had a mission to help out Tazuna. There were people in this world that did not really care about quirkless or quirk people. Seeing that Tazuna possessed a quirk that allowed him to use his 6 hands, which was, yes, abnormal, but it also made him the world's greatest builder. Yes. So with that they made their way. It did not take long for trouble to find them as Zabuza, the demon serpent, arrived. Zabuza was a part of the 7 Swords Ninjas, as each of the members there had a quirk that allowed them representation of a blade. Zabuza was able to turn his hands into extensions that were extremely large and sharp, as his body was basically a trap of sorts, a literal death trap. He was able to also transform. His quirk was basically transformation, as he was able to turn into a sea serpent. Where there was water, he was there, and where there was water in him, that includes death, as he transformed after flooding a place with ninjutsu. As it showed that Yamato was well efficient to deal with quirkless and quirk people, because Yamato was able to clash and hit back against him, as Naruto and the others jump up into the trees, holding Tazuna up there as well, as they were surprised by all that went on. Naruto has never really seen a battle of this proportion, so he was shocked. So was Ami as well. Sai seemed to be used to these kind of battles, so he did not really say anything, as they were able to let Zabuza disengage. Someone had saved him from his death and take him and made their way off. Meanwhile at Konoha, Minato was going over the DNA by the doctor, as Naruto's whole system had seemed to change, something that not even Minato knew was going on. It took some time, but Naruto's body started to develop and it started to mutate into a stronger version of itself. To compensate for the quirk that he took, his chakra level was rising. Everything about it was enhancing to make sure that his body was able to take on the quirk. Minato was shocked as the doctor told him all of this. His son had the possibility of becoming one of the strongest quirk users in the entire world because of his quirk of stealing others. However, Minato wanted to utilize this, as he wanted to find the best way to make sure that this served Konoha well. He knew that there's been a lot of problems with his son and the family, as he wanted to sort that out as well. However, none of that can be sorted out unless he severed the ties that he had to his, well, old life of being quirkless. That is exactly why those two were placed in the team. Sai had said that he was a part of a secret division. However, he said he did not possess a quirk, which was a lie. We then skip back to the house, as Inieri was pretty angry, saying that they were going to lose against Gato. Inieri and his mother possessed a quirk that they could turn their hands into small objects. Baseball bats and small things, nothing too deadly, but still it was something. As Inier was upset. However, Naruto spoke about Kaizen. After Tazuna had told them about him, that man was a true hero. He should try and strive to be just as Kaizen. As Inier ran up to his room after hearing that. Time did not take long as time passed rather quickly. They were trained and prepared just in case when the ninjas showed their head once again. It did not take too long as they arrived at the bridge. Arriving there, Haku, the masked user, decided to utilize his full power. They were shocked as Haku was able to freeze the entire place before bringing his hand down and shattering the bridge. He could not freeze living organism, but he could freeze anything that was not living. A crazy ice ability, but that was just the start of it. They were having a difficult time because they fell into the water and Zabuza transformed. Zabuza told Yamato that Haku was even stronger than him. Yes, the voice quirk was truly deadly, and they will all die right here and now. The battle got intensified as Naruto tried to keep up, Ami as well. Sai was trying his best to keep up without utilizing his quirk. He looked over towards Yamato, as Yamato gave him the go-ahead to use his quirk. However, before he could though, it was Ami. She pushed Naruto out of the way, as she got hit. Yes, she was stabbed. Naruto watched as the ice dagger pierced right through her chest. The whole world seemed to freeze over, as everything went crazy. Naruto exploded with rage. The tentacles from his back, the electric tentacles, the power seemed to have quadrupled. Naruto was wrecking and destroying everything. Both Zabuza and Haku was grabbed, as Sai and Yamato had to jump away as Naruto absorbed the quirk of the two, sucking it right out of their body. As the whole place started to freeze over, as strange, weapon-like claws started to eject from Naruto's hands. Yamato rushed over there as he tried to stop Naruto. He was torn and ripped up for it. However, in the end, he was able to knock Naruto out, but he collapsed on the ground, bleeding profusely, as the one to save him was none other than Sai. However, Sai looked around at the devastation that this one boy could cause. He was baffled. Naruto had just lost the one link that he had, the one last thing that helped him to always keep calm. She was just taken away from him in front of his eyes, and he had went berserk, crazy, ripping and shredding everything apart. However, now he was unconscious. It was left aside to make sure that everything went right, as the bridge was destroyed. But still, Gato and his man who were over to the side were all hit by Naruto quirk. They were ripped and shredded apart. Those who survived fled for their life, never to be seen again. So yeah guys, basically split off. You guys can switch across the playstyle of yourself, and yeah guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes, I indeed have 4 of them guys: Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Prince, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new, so I can welcome you guys myself guys. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now guys. Naruto was confused as he was walking in a cloudy mist. Looking around, all he could see was mist. Nothing else. Not the floor, not his hands, not his feet. He felt like he was a specter just observing. He then heard it. Naruto. Naruto. She cried his name out. She begged him. He turned around. From left to right, up and down. He looked. He searched. But he couldn't find her. He tried to call out. He tried to scream out her name, but nothing came. All he could do was observe. That is when it appeared. He saw her, running towards him. Ami. She rushed towards him. However, something burst right through her chest. Naruto watched as blood gathered. He reached. He clawed himself, pushed himself towards her, but his body just remained where it was, if he had one. She cried out for him. She begged him to save her. All he could do was watch, frustrated and angry. He threw himself, he launched himself. In his mind, he tried to But all he could do was watch as he watched her drop to her knees, begging out for him, until light left her eyes. Naruto's eyes snapped open, frantically. His heart was beating fast. His eyes were blurry. He couldn't see anything clearly as he snapped his head from left to right, trying to find out where he was, as he was lying on some sort of bed. That is when he noticed something to the side as he reached out. His hand hit it over, whatever it was, it crashed to the ground. As Naruto created a lot of noise, causing someone to enter right away. "You're weak." He turned towards the person. "Who are you?" "Where am I?" said Naruto. "Calm down, Namikaze-san. Everything is alright. You'll be fine." "Where am I? What's going on?" "Who are you?" said Naruto. "You're home and you're safe. There's nothing to get worked up about. Everything's gonna be alright." The first words started to calm Naruto down a bit. He then felt a throbbing pain in his skull. As Naruto really believed that he was forgetting something. Wait, what? Everything died off instantly as he snapped his head up, his eyes taking in the person's silhouette as it was slowly coming back to him. His vision was coming back perfectly. Where's Ami?" "Where is she?" said Naruto. The person failed to answer. "Where is she?" Naruto yelled. As Naruto heard a sigh. "I deeply regret to inform you, but Ami Uzuki perished on your last mission." The whole world seemed to freeze. As Naruto body dropped back to the bed, his arms losing all support they had, and he went quiet. There was no rage, no power explosion, no nothing. The doctor cautiously stepped towards him as Naruto's blank eyes looked up at the blurry ceiling. He looked for so long the ceiling became 100% visible. Everything was back to normal. He could feel the doctor looking over him, but yet he did not move. He did not speak. He did not say a single word. He just lay there. It did not take too long as a Hokage arrived. Naruto heard the man's voice, speaking to the doctor. The man then came inside. "My son," he said. As Naruto still did not move. He did not react or say a single word. Minato was speaking to him, but Naruto did not say nothing. His eyes just continued to look forward. The door then opened once again as he saw Kushina came in as she rushed over towards him, tears in her eyes as she hugged him. She was crying. He looked as he saw his siblings at the door. They stood there. They were all talking, but Naruto was not reacting. "What's wrong with him?" said Mito. "Why isn't he saying anything?" "Your brother has gone through a lot. He needs time to adjust back to his normal situation. He just lost someone very dear to him," said Menma, as Kushina kept on hugging him, but Naruto did not move in the slightest. "So how long is he gonna be like this?" "That is not a question you should be asking," said Minato. "You should be asking what you can do to help your brother recover." "How am I supposed to help him?" said Menma. "Both of you just leave," said Minato. "What?" said Mito. "What did I? It's not anything you did, just leave. As I said, your brother needs time to recover." "Fine," said Mito. "Like it's my fault he's become a crybaby," Menma whispered to himself as he left. Mito glanced back one more time before she left the room as well. As Kushina pulled back, as she raised her hand up and stroked Naruto's cheek. "It's gonna be alright," she said. "Everything's gonna be alright." However, Naruto did not speak or say a single word. Naruto wasn't sure how much time passed or how much time they came and left. All he knew was he just continued to lie here. Several more people came in, doctors, his father, mother, several more people came to look at him. He also saw a guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. He was the head of the Yamanaka clan. As he was talking to his father, the man had stepped towards him and looked at him for several seconds, before moving back and said something to his father. As night came, Naruto was lying there, his eyes refusing to shut because every time he shut them, he saw her, begging out for him to help her. As Naruto closed his eyes, The memories, they flash across his mind so quickly. As he tried his best, however, he had to snap his eyes back open. Throwing the sheet off himself, Naruto looked around as he marched right towards the window. Every 30 minutes, someone came in here to check upon him. As he noticed that, he could also tell that there was someone at the door. However, as Naruto slowly looked towards the window, noticing that it was shut. It was actually shut, barred down. However, he looked toward his hands that started to release a smoke. Not exactly smoke, however, it was a coal. As Naruto touched it, gripping it tightly, it started to freeze over. As Naruto then pulled it, making sure it wasn't so loud. He then placed it on the bed. Now that it was broken off, Naruto left the window open. Looking outside, two tentacles came from his back as they stabbed into the wall, and quickly pulled himself up. As Naruto climbed, going straight up to the top of the giant hospital. Now standing on the edge, the tentacles returned back to his back. As Naruto looked down, his eyes on focus, empty. Kyo was one of his best friends. He's been there for him since day one, since he was treated like an outcast. In fact, he met Kyo a few days before he met Ami. It was just something, and the three of them became friends. He was so young he wasn't sure how it just happened like that. After Kyo's death, it broke Naruto. Mentally, yes. However, he stood strong, because Ami was sad as well. For the months of training in that forest, Naruto had held her several times when bad memories came up. However, he repressed his own sadness, because he didn't want her to see him sad, knowing that it would just make her even more sad. So he repressed everything. Losing Kyo had broke him. However, he had to be strong for Ami. He cared about her too much to make her see him in pain, and to make her be in pain either. However, now that she was gone, he did not see the point. He did not see a reason to go on. Yes, there was none. Standing on the edge, Naruto looked down, as he closed his eyes and released himself. And he fell. Head first, Naruto fell from the gigantic hospital. No chakra, no restraints, nothing. Just straight down head first. He's gonna be with him soon. Naruto! He snapped his eyes open as he saw the both of them looking at him. They were shaking their heads in disapproval. As Naruto was surprised, their bodies then vanished as he passed right through them. He looked behind him as he was falling. What was that? Suddenly, the electric whips came from his back and stabbed into the wall. As they slowed him down, as Naruto hung there, distance away from the ground as he just hung there. Why? Why did they come out? He did not told them to come out. Why did they stop him from doing this? Why? He didn't understand. Why didn't he want to die? As far as he know Quirk, they respond to the user's will. So why? Why did he stop himself? There was no point to go on. There was no reason, was there? Yet, they weren't dislodging. They stopped themselves in the wall, not letting him fall. As they pulled him back up slowly, bringing him back to his room. As Naruto sat on the windowsill, still not understanding why did he stop himself. He must be the cause. His quirk would not work without his mental command. As he closed his eyes, but this time, he was brought to a memory from the past. Naruto, Ami, and Kyo sat on top of the Hokage's head, the first Hokage's head. As Naruto was lying back, Ami was leaning up against one of his hair strands. As Kyo was glancing down towards the bottom. You know, said Kyo as he pulled his head up. One day, we're gonna do something about this world. What do you mean? Ami said, looking towards him. I mean, we're gonna do something about this quirk and quirkless world. The respect that people have for someone that does not possess a quirk. Just because one doesn't have what you have, it doesn't mean that their feelings does not matter or their feelings should not be considered. That's why one day, all three of us, we're gonna change that. We're gonna make people understand that Quirkless are Quirk users. They're all the same. Tuh, said Naruto. Do you really think that we can do something like that? I mean, come on. The world out there is a very dangerous place. Not to mention with many powerful Quirk users. How exactly are you gonna force them to do what you say? I don't know, said Kale as he slammed his fist into his palm. But I'm gonna find a way. And I want your help, he said, looking towards the both of them. I want your help to fix this world. No longer will there be a child that doesn't have a quirk and is looked down upon because of it. I'm gonna make a difference. And I want you two to help me make this difference. So what do you say, he said to them. Ami smirked. Well, knowing you, and how crazy you are about following something that you put your mind to, I doubt you will give up on this. And someone has to be there to make sure you don't do anything too crazy. So I mean, she said, a bright smile on her face. They both turned their gaze towards Naruto. Do you even have to ask, Naruto said. I'll always have the both of your backs no matter what. So yeah, we'll change this world together. For the better, he said. A proud smile on his face. Hell yeah, said Keo as he almost fell. Luckily, Ami grabbed him though. As he collapsed on top of the head. As he started to laugh. As Naruto started to laugh as well. Making Ami laugh as well despite Keo almost falling off. Naruto opened his eyes. As that memory rung in his head. He'd forgotten about that. It wasn't too long after they started to advance more in the academy. And that dream had been on the back burner of his mind. As Naruto felt something hit in his hand, he looked down to see that it was water. He glanced up, however it was not raining. It was his tears. And for the first time in a long while, Naruto let himself cry. He cried as the tears pulled down his face. It wasn't long after before the nurse came inside. Her eyes went wide. Namikaze-san, she said, thinking that he was about to jump. Relax, said Naruto as he turned his gaze towards her. The woman looked at him strangely. She was the one that was in here first. Something was different about him. And he was talking. As Naruto turned, closing the window behind him as he walked back to bed. You can leave now, he said. Are you? Oh, I'm fine. You can leave. With that, he just went back to bed and turned his back on her. She checked over the room to make sure everything was fine. However, she did speak to the guard outside. As the man came in, looking around the room, before he stepped back out, not seeing anything of worth notice. Although he was confused. How the hell did he not hear anything? And not to mention, wasn't that window locked? Time skip. Naruto stood in front of a tree in a forest. Reaching, Naruto propped open a tree to show that the side was able to prop open. As Naruto laid down, inside, there was a photo of Kale. There was also a ball and several other objects. Naruto pulled out a photo of Ami as he placed it right beside it. He pulled a hair clip as he placed it down as well, as he also held a sheet of a blade. It was hers. He placed it down there as well. Twice now, Naruto has missed the funerals of both of his friends. Naruto had to snuck into her house to get the ear clip and also the photo as well. The sheet of the blade was the only thing rescued back from a Land of Wave mission. Naruto had spoken to Yamato and Sai as well. Not for long though. This was the first that he was by himself since waking up in the hospital. This was the shrine that him and Ami had created for Keo. And now, one for hers as well. Naruto dropped to his knees as he bowed his head respectfully and said a few words. He sat there like that for about an hour before he picked himself back up. As he picked up the hollowed part of a tree and placed it back where it was, making sure to wedge it in there. As Naruto then looked towards both of his hands, Upon looking down toward his hands, he started to concentrate. Sweat started to gather at his brow. As he started to sweat hard, suddenly, you could see the steam once again rising from his arms. Slowly but surely, it came into view what he was doing. As Naruto created a small, ice-shaped flower. It was small and fragile. However, he created it. He slowly placed it down, a smile on his face as he walked. They will never be forgotten, as long as they're in his heart, he thought to himself. It doesn't matter if they're dead, they will never be forgotten. Time skip. Naruto stood in front of his father's desk. So, son, your mother told me that you wanted to start your career up once again, said Minato. Its tone sounded unsure. When Kushina spoke to him about this, and she was against it, Minato was surprised that Naruto was the one that brought this up. Given what recently happened, Minato thought that Naruto would not be ready for something like this for a long while. It has only been 3 weeks. However, throughout these 3 weeks, Minato had someone watching Naruto and saw him training. He kept to himself. He didn't really talk to anyone. He just went to a secluded area of the forest and trained with the new quirks that he developed. Minato was able to get a listing of what he got. Turns out that he got a powerful ice quirk. From the report that he got back from Yamato and Sai, it turns out that this ice quirk was really powerful. Minato was not sure how much of it Naruto has grasped already. However, he also got a mutation quirk from none other than Zabuza, one of the 7 swordsmen, to turn into a sea serpent. So far, the one that was watching Naruto has not said there's been any signs of Naruto transforming, just his hands turning into long blade-like claws. As Minato told him to keep on observing. Well, Naruto, said Minato, given the recent tragedy that you went through, I thought I would put you on standby for at least a month. No, said Naruto. I want to go back doing missions. Well, son, I'm afraid that there is no other teams that is in the academy that I can place you on. All of them has been filled. However, with the quirk users, you should know that the number of members on one team sometimes go up to 5, specializing on what the members on that team can do. But powerful members sometimes is placed under one apprenticeship, 1 teacher, 1 student, and sometimes there is 5 students, 1 teacher. So I accept, said Naruto. Minato raised an eyebrow. You accept? He said, surprised in his tone. Yes. Place me in a team with the quirk users if you have to, said Naruto. Really? Said Minato. Yes, said Naruto once again. So can I return to being back a shinobi? A smile came on Minato's face. Yes, he said, looking rather happy. I will have everything sorted out. Naruto nodded as he turned his back. Wait, said Minato. I was thinking about your predicament. I told you that using your quirk in public would draw a lot of unwanted attention. However, I am willing to allow you to reveal this quirk to the public under 2 conditions. And what would those be, said Naruto. The first one be that I have a select few of people that structure your training and help you. The second one be that you participate in the upcoming sports festival at Land of Iron that is coming up very soon. I believe that will be the place that you can showcase your quirk to everyone. As Naruto was silent for a while. Fine. Minato was surprised that his son was agreeing so easily. Alright then, he said. Why don't you take the rest of the day off? I will give you further instructions tomorrow. Naruto nodded as he left, without saying a second word. A happy smile came on Minato's face, and here he thought that he would have to pull some more extra strings to get Naruto to do what he wanted. However, he was wrong. Naruto was now more acceptable to his demands, which made him really happy. Minato at first didn't want to spread any information about Naruto's quirk. However, while he was unconscious for the few days in the hospital and a lot of testing, it turns out that Naruto quirk, despite being able to steal others, could not be replicated in any matter whatsoever. Some quirks over the years has been able to, well, how would you say, dilute in a certain way. Say for the first Hokage quirk for example, they were able to produce it in a way for Yamato to get the Mokidan genes. However, Naruto quirk was different. Minato was afraid that because Naruto could steal quirk, there was a chance that Naruto quirk would also be removed from him somehow. But after some thorough testing, Minato realized that was the complete opposite. Naruto was able to take another, but the quirks permanently stay with him. Never in history has there been someone that can permanently take anyone's quirk. Copy, yes. Program, yes, but never completely strip someone of their quirk before, from what they were able to isolate. The genetic splicers emerge from Naruto's body. They have to wrap around its opponent for a good 5 seconds in order to completely transfer the DNA over to Naruto. And the splicers had to completely return back Naruto in order for his body to completely absorb the quirk. These are the requirements that had to be made. That was one of the big things that he needed to find out after all. His son possessed a quirk that could take away others' quirk. When you think about it, that was one of the most feared quirk in the entire elemental nation. That is why he had to know the drawbacks, just in case anything were to go out of his control. However, Minato quirk was a big counter to Naruto's quirk after all. He possessed the ability to teleport to any location, as long as his eyes could see that location, giving him a perfect counter to Naruto's quirk. Also, his other two children as well. However, Minato did not fear the prospect of anything regarding Naruto. He believed that with time, he could bring Naruto fully back into the family, now that he is no longer attached to any one of those quirkless people. He could bring him back into the fold, and he could make him a proud father. Yes, that brought a smile to his face. He is a proud father. His 3 kids were something extraordinary. Time skip. It was dinner time. I still think it's too soon. You need more time to rest and recover. I'm fine, said Naruto, as his mother was speaking. He's fine, Kushina, said Minato. There's no need to. She shot him a look. Why are you pushing this so much? Our son has just been through an extraordinary event. He needs more time. Who better than him to tell us how he's feeling? Really? Said Kushina as she looked towards Minato. I don't know why you want to jump back into things, Naruto-kun, she said, looking towards him, but jumping back into things and repressing your feelings is not the right way to go. Naruto turned towards her, as he looked her dead in the eyes. Kushina waited for him to say something. You want me to be happy, right? She nodded her head. Then let me be a ninja, and then I'll be happy. Okay, mother, he said. Kushina was surprised. Usually he did not say that word. Hearing it brought a lot of happiness to her heart. She sighed and relented. Alright, son, she said. But if it's too much, if anything is too much, I need to know, okay? I need to know. He's fine, Menma said, speaking up. He said it himself. Yeah, said Mito. There's no need to baby him, mother. You two just be quiet and eat your dinner, said Kushina. As the both of them sighed, Mito rolled in her eyes. Minato cleared his throat. Menma, Mito, he said. There's something that we failed to tell the both of you about Naruto's quirk. Huh? They said, looking towards your father. The original idea of what we told you were a lie. What do you mean? Mito said. Naruto possesses a quirk that has not been seen ever, said Kushina. Your mother is right. We spoke about this today and we believe that it's time the both of you found out about this. Naruto quirk is able to steal others' quirk. Steal? Said Menma, as he slowly turned his head towards Naruto, who was still eating and not looking at him. Wait, what do you mean steal? Exactly what it means, said Minato. He's able to take another's quirk. Mizuki, your former teacher at the academy, do you remember that instructor? Yeah, said Mito. He tried to kidnap your brother because of his connection to us. And that night Naruto awakened a quirk that was able to take his quirk away. He did not copy it. Instead, he took it away completely. And it's now his. What? Said Menma as he shot up to his feet. You're telling me you can take someone's quirk away, he said, backing away. Why are you afraid, said Kushina. He's your brother. He would never use his quirk on you, ever. Tell him, Naruto-kun, she said, as Naruto glanced up towards the both of them, pausing mid-bite. Mother's right, he said. We're a family. I will never harm either of you. Ever, he said, as he ate and looked down. Still, said Menma. Menma, your brother will never do anything to harm you, said Minato. There's nothing for you to worry about. However, as you are being told this, there will be some changes. Your brother will be placed on a team with all quirk users, and he will be participating at Land of Iron in the upcoming sports festival for a promotion. A team? What team will he be placed on, said Mito. That will be announced soon, said Minato. However, the information about what he can do should not leave any of your mouths. I am just telling you the both of this so you are not shocked when it does come out. However, it will be revealed soon. Your brother here is a defender and a fighter of Konoha, aiming to make the village stronger and better. He will never use his ability against any one of the ninjas within this village. Wait. How much quirk can he steal? Menma said. As of now, we do not know if there's an exact limit. What? Menma said, looking towards Naruto. His eyes had a look of fear in them, as Naruto was still eating, not looking at either of them. Mito also did not like to hear what she was hearing. Their quirk. They couldn't live without a quirk. To be quirkless, that would be... No. As Menma sat back down, glancing towards Naruto every now and then. Alright, said Minato. Now let's eat as a family, he said. Menma was not so chummy with the idea. Time skip. Naruto was in a training facility, as there was a shinobi standing beside his father. He introduced himself as Genma. Naruto, Genma here possessed the quirk steam. We believe that this will be the perfect counter to your ice quirk. The temperature of his steam can increase, judging by his control. We would like to see how you can maintain your ice under these temperatures. Naruto nodded his head. Naruto was in a full black bodysuit. He stepped behind the line, as Minato placed his hand on the wall. The door closed up. The door was see-through. Minato looked towards Genma, who stepped forward. As he held out both of his hands, there was two tiny holes in the center of his palm. As he activated his quirk, the steam funneled right out of his hands right into the room. As there was an opening, the small enough opening for the steam to enter. This place was modified and created to test many quirks. Now, Naruto, said Minato, try to replicate the ice from before. As Naruto held out his hand, an ice dagger formed in his hand. It slowly started to melt as the steam got hotter. Try to cover your body in it, said Minato. Naruto took several deep breaths as he covered his body from head to toe. However, it was misshapen and not at full capacity, as ices were here and there, chunks falling off. Minato rubbed his chin as he looked towards Naruto. Apply more steam, he said to Genma. Genma applied more steam as the ice started to melt slowly. Keep it up, Naruto, said Minato, as Naruto increased the ice around him. As it started to become so thick that Naruto was barely able to move, he looked towards Genma. Increase the steam. Hokage-sama, do it. As Genma increased the steam, as Naruto started to feel a bit woozy. However, he closed the frontal feature of the ice armor that he was wearing, and he was now stuck inside. Closing his eyes, Naruto took calm deep breaths as he felt a hand on his shoulder. However, as his eyes were closed, he could feel her, not just her, on his other shoulder. Both Kale and Ami stood there, giving him a smile. The ice rapidly increased. A bright smile flashed on Minato's face as he saw the ice flashed out in all different directions, slamming viciously into the wall, tearing into it. Enough, he said, stopping Genma. That's my boy, he said. As the ice receded as the wall started to repair itself, seals appearing all over. Test 2. Naruto stood in a different location. Alright, I want you to try and keep up with these, said Minato. As Naruto nodded his head. Begin. As a man over the side pressed a button, several openings appeared in the walls. Balls. Grey balls were shot out at high speeds. As Naruto tentacles knocked them away. More followed as they came faster and faster. Increase the speed, said Minato. Level 2, Hokage-sama. As Naruto kept on knocking them away. Increase the speed. Level 3. As Naruto kept on knocking them away, moving faster and faster. Increase the speed. Level 4. The man said, his voice sounding a bit weary at that. One of them hit Naruto in the stomach. As he fell back, another one slammed into his arm. They might not pierce him, but they sting a lot. Another one slammed into his shoulder as Naruto staggered back. However, 2 more tentacles came from Naruto's back and started to whack them away, slapping them in the ground and sending them back to the compartments. Electricity started to gather on the tentacles as Naruto waved it. Minato watched with glee as the arc of electricity came off and slammed into one of the balls. He told the man to stop. Naruto was looking at it surprised as well. Has it ever done that before? Asked Minato. No, said Naruto, rubbing the sore spots that he had. Minato smiled. It seems that the quirk was not done evolving. Test 3. As Naruto stood in the room, a different one, this one, had a gigantic leak in the center. This facility was filled with different things, as they were underneath the village. This was a special facility. Special training, that is. As Naruto looked toward his father that stood on top of the podium. I want you to try your third quirk. Usually transformation quirks are different, so I want you to just go into the water and try to feel. Try to imagine yourself changing and adapting to your surroundings. As Naruto was in the suit that he was wearing was one that was fit for quirk users. It was able to adapt and change regardless of what they turn into. Special design by seals. As Naruto jumped in the water, Naruto went underneath. Minato watched him critically. There was someone beside him, a man. A man that had been there for all the testing. The man had bandage over half of his face. He walked with a cane. His name was Danzo Shimura. Quirk, Gauntlet. The user can create a pair of stone-like gloves that when hit, absorb the force that it was hit with and use the same force. Danzo was one of Minato's advisors on the council. While this is a wonderful discovery, I still do not believe that the transformation quirk will happen right off the bat. You and I both know the difference between any other quirk and a transformation quirk. However, Danzo said, with enough training I believe that he can get there. Well, at least give him a try, said Minato. My son, we will choose to surprise you. He's extraordinary. Yes, with a quirk like that. He surely is, Danzo said. Suddenly something exploded out of the water and landed on the surface. Both men raised their eyebrows as Naruto stood there. However, he was different. Naruto's teeth had sharpened. So sharp they glistened, like they could chomp and rip anything apart. Naruto's nails had turned silver, and they were elongated. Instead of his legs fusing together and turning into a tail, he had a strange tail coming right from his butt, right where his tailbone was, as it had many spikes on top of it as it slammed into the ground, cracking it. Minato raised the eyebrow. It seems he's not yet fully mastered how to transform, but this is quite an advanced movement of switching the molecules in his body to take on this shape. Seeing that he has just inherited this quirk, Danzo said, I'm impressed. He truly is a fascinating specimen. What did I tell you? Said Minato, as he looked down toward his son with a smirk. As for Naruto, he looked toward his hands. As a smirk came on his face, the claws slowly receded. Time skip. Well, that was a wonderful training session for today, said Minato as he placed a hand on Naruto's head, ruffling his hair. He was glad that his son was warming up more to the family. Well, that is what he believed. It seems that the doctor was incorrect about you having a fourth quirk. Perhaps it was your ability to steal other quirks that was showing in the report. Yes, perhaps, said Naruto. So, what now? We will continue your training for a month. The sports festival doesn't start for at least 3 more months. So you will have 2 months to spend with your team, to get to know them and grow, and forge better relationships. That sounds good, doesn't it? Said Minato. As Naruto nodded his head. I am not rushing you, my son, he said. Time will heal all wounds. But as long as you don't forget the ones that you love, they will always be with you, said Minato, giving him a smile. Thanks, father, said Naruto. Minato's smile could have split his face at that moment. Father, can you do something for me? Sure, what is it? Someone I want to speak to. Sai. Ah, your former teammate. I don't see why not, said Minato. Time skip, Team 7 training ground. Sai walked up on the field as he saw Naruto lean up against one of the poles as he walked over towards him. Ah, Naruto, he said. I heard that you called for me. How are you feeling, he asked. Well, I have good days and I have bad days, said Naruto, his hands in his pockets. How about you? How are you feeling? I know that we weren't a team for long, but I believe that we had a real bond, said Naruto. Well, I am deeply saddened about her death. If I could have done something else, done something more maybe, I could have prevented it. If you had the option to do so, you would have, wouldn't you, said Naruto. Of course I would. We were a team. Oh, is that right? I saw you, you know. You saw me, said Sai, confused. Yeah. In the last final end of the battle, I saw your hands. A strange, black liquid started to ooze from it. Sai was shocked. Naruto's memory had came back fully as he saw. Remember seeing Sai. His hands released a black substance that was mixing with the water and changing shape. However, when Ami died, it stopped. I don't know what you're talking about. So you're gonna lie to my face? Like you did bad things, said Naruto. Were you even my friend, said Naruto. You said you did not have a quirk, but that was a lie, wasn't it? Sai watched as Naruto's nails turned into claws. What are you doing? I want to kill you. I want to rip your throat right open to see your blood, said Naruto. Stain my claws right here and now. Because my mind is telling me that you did not do everything in your capability to save her. So tell me, why? Was it all a lie? All a trick? Those months, the time in the forest, you helping and saving us, what was that? Sai lowered his head. I apologize, he said. Sai was slammed into a tree by Naruto as Naruto pulled his hand back. You apologize? She's dead! What will your damn apology do? Ferrofluid, said Sai. The user of this quirk can secrete black, magnetic fluid that can be hardened into any shape. That is the quirk I possess. As Naruto gripped tighter around his neck, Sai choked out as he spoke. In order to better become friends with you guys, to show you that you could trust me, I had to lie. Knowing your background and knowing the life that you two have lived, I tried to create some sort of friendship before I revealed that I had a quirk, but things got along so well, so I was afraid of the prospect of revealing anything because I know our situation would have changed instantly. I'm sorry, Sai said. Naruto dropped him as Sai rubbed at his throat. Huh. So you could have been a better help in that battle. Sai shook his head. My quirk. Yes, it is versatile, but the ice user was stronger than I was. And if I had revealed my quirk, that would have gotten us all killed. What? Said Naruto. I didn't want to say anything when you were creating that plan at the beginning, but we never stood a chance. It doesn't matter what we do, we'd have all died if we would have shown that we were better. He would have slaughtered all of us instantly. His quirk was too versatile, too powerful. And I recognized that instantly, but I knew that there was a chance. Still there was a chance because you both did not want to give up. You had the determination to move forward. So I wanted to at least find a way to allow us to live before I even start to say a single word. And I knew if I had revealed my quirk, the ice user would have truly released their quirk on us. At the beginning, they were just toying with us. He could have taken us out easy, but he toyed us around like we were some kind of mouse trapped in a game, using those mirrors, then using those daggers. He could have froze over the entire spot that we stood and instantly caught us, but he did not, because he knew that we were too weak to stand against him, so I was going to use my quirk as a surprise to end him. However, once I got ready, you got captured. And yeah, don't remind me, said Naruto. So you were doing this for our benefits? Yes. I wanted to try and find a way to ensure that we all live, but I failed. And I blame myself for that as well. You blamed yourself. How do you think I feel, said Naruto. She was saving me, and she got killed because of it. Sai lowered his head, as Naruto was not looking at him. I'm going to be going on a different team, with quirk users. Yes, I've been aware, said Sai. So you're on a team with a quirk user as well, said Naruto. Yes, now, Sai said. Did Sensei know about your quirk? Yes, but I asked him not to tell any of you, until I build a better bond with you guys. So you were the one behind it, Naruto said. Correct. So if you want to blame anyone, blame me, Sai said. It doesn't matter now does it, said Naruto. It's not like I can bring her back. What's the point of being so angry anymore? As Naruto turned his gaze towards Sai, maybe we'll see each other again on some other missions or something, or maybe at the sports festival. It was good knowing you, Sai, said Naruto. It was good knowing you as well, Sai said, as Naruto walked off. The moment Naruto was gone, all emotion drained away from Sai's face. Yamato appeared behind him not too long after. Were you able to convince him? I believe I did. It seems we have nothing to fear. He's trying to move on with his life. I believe that he's been hurt so much. He's trying to move on to find at least any sort of happiness in this world, Sai said. Is that what the feeling you got from him? Yamato asked. Yes, he's deeply hurt, but he's trying to find something to live for. I believe that with more exposure from the quirk side of things, he will come around soon enough. Well, that's good. And at least none of us were behind the death of that girl. So that makes things a lot better, said Yamato. It sure does. Meanwhile, as Naruto walked, liars. All of them were liars. Sai was lying to him. As Naruto has watched Sai for the longest time now, Sai was someone that was always speaking on a level like he think before he spoke. He always tried to get the word in his mind first. He always tried to have the right thing to say. Sai was not one to break down. Sai was not one to act this way. This was all a facade. Over the past few months Naruto had watched him, he studied his victims. He studied them well. And upon studying them, he tried to mimic the way they act, to try to make them feel more friendly around him. And that is exactly what he did to us. This was all a setup from the beginning, Naruto thought to himself. They used us. Me, he thought. An idea was in Naruto's mind, but he feared to even think of that because if it was truth, he would kill every single one of them. There was a chance that his father had Sai and Yamato placed on their team to kill Ami. Yes, in order to get him on his side. His father was right. His quirk was one of the most dangerous and all becoming strongest in the world because of what he can do. To take another quirk, to take seemingly limitless amount of quirks, and not to mention, while none of them said it to him yet, he could feel it. He was getting stronger. The more quirk he took, the stronger he got. And that made him realize, if he kept on growing, there would be no limit to his potential. And his father knew that, so he wanted him to be dependent on him. The idea burned in Naruto's mind that his father was actually the one that did this. As Naruto's fist clenched, blood started to drop as Naruto's nails started to elongate and dig into his palm. All of his acting, yes, it was just that, acting. The two people that he lost, they were the only two people in this world that he gave a damn about. And if he found out that his father was the one behind Ami's death, the mocking, the ridiculation, the hate, because he did not possess a quirk, he would take KO's dream. However, he would not use it the way KO used it. He would take all of their quirks and show them what it feels like to feel powerless. He will make them feel what it feels like to be quirkless. He will show them nothing but death, despair, anguish. He will make them all suffer, one after another. He will end every single one of them. All he needed was proof. As Naruto clenched his fists, and once he got that proof, they will all feel his wrath. Every single one of them. They will feel his wrath. Yes, they would. They will all suffer. Meanwhile, that was going on. A girl, bright red hair. She had a smirk on her face as she looked in front of her. As she looked to the left and she looked to the right. Two people rushed to her side from left and right. She simply smirked as they attacked her, releasing small energy balls that came in contact with the floor. They exploded. The girl jumped away. Reaching upwards, her hand seemed to dissolve into paper. Yes, her hand turned into paper, and she thrust them downwards. It scampered towards the two individuals and surrounded them. She then pushed her hand outwards as her fist seemed to materialize through the paper that was the closest and smack right in the individual's face. She pushed her leg out as it kicked another one in their stomach, knocking them to the ground. With a smirk, she jumped back before she brought her hands down. Both of her fists came out to the opposite end and slammed up right into the face of another. She smirked as she watched all three of them topple backwards. She had red hair. She also had amber eyes. Looking around, it turns out that the people that she was fighting was not actually humans. And what was firing the energy blast was not actually them. It was from a strange seal in the wall. The room that they were in was special. The three people body materialized into paper and floated upwards. Clapping could be heard as the girl looked up to see a blue-haired woman that smiled at her. Impressive. It seems you're getting stronger and stronger each day. It's only a matter of time before you completely master your quirk. Hell yeah, the girl said, as her mother gave her a look, as she simply chuckled and rubbed back of her head. So, are you gonna allow me to enter into the sports festival? Didn't we already talk about this? Come on, Mom, I'm old enough. I can enter this year. Every single year Konoha wins. They say that this game is for the promotion of their ninjas for them to reach a higher level. However, we all know that's a facade. This is a test between the other nations to see, the younger generations, and to see who's better. Konoha has won for the last couple of years now. It's time that the Hidden Rain is placed on the chopping block. Come on, I can do this, Mom. You said yourself, I'm special. I have your quirk. And not to mention, what I got from Dad, she said. Honey, you know how dangerous it is for people to find out what your dad can do. I know, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm just gonna use your quirk. And I'm gonna use it to kick all of your asses. Just let me and the others go, please. I'll have to talk to your father about this. Just relax, okay? Alright, fine, she said. You did a good work today, though. The woman said, nudging her daughter with a smile. And I'm proud of you. Come on, let's go get you something to eat. Fine, she said. She really wanted to join the sports festival to show that the Hidden Rain is no pushover. Meanwhile, those two were having their mother-daughter moments. Two men stood as they overlooked the city down below them. One with bright red hair. His eyes were bathed in shadow. The bottom half of his face was. The only thing that could be seen was his hair. The other man that stood beside him spoke up. There was a recent incident in the Land of Wave. Several villagers arrived on the scene, led by a young boy. There were talks about a boy that was able to produce more than one quirk. The red-haired man turned towards him. Why have I not heard about this? A squad of Konoha ninja went there. And it seems like the memory of that incident has been sealed away from the populace. Erased, perhaps. Konoha, messing with civilians' memories. That doesn't sound like them. Unless they're hiding something. A boy that possessed more than one quirk. Wait, you don't think? The red-haired man said. I do not know. But perhaps we'll have to take a better look at this. And let's see what Konoha is keeping away from us. As the red-haired man simply nodded, stepping closer into the light. His eyes were peculiar, powerful, as he looked over his village. I would like to know who this child is, he said. But guys, it'll be interesting right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification as they posted. But I'm off to see you guys soon. Peace.